Speaking of talks and concessions, Ukraine has very few cards to play here. Their best one is KSK, or rather, WSKK is a region in southern Russia. Parts of it have been occupied by Ukraine. They launched a surprising incursion last year. The Ukrainians made it deep into populated areas in Russia, and at its peak Ukraine held almost 1,400 square km of Russian land, 1,400 square km, but holding on to this land has been quite tough. In February, Ukraine was left with just 450 square km of K, and this week that shrank even further. The Russians liberated a key city called Saj. A picture showed the Russian flag being raised there. They also showed the aftermath of a pretty intense battle. Take a look. There's a clear plan here because yesterday the Russian president also visited K. Putin ditched his customary suit. Instead, he was seen in military fatigues. He visited Russia's command center in K. He also gave a clear order to his men, pushed the Ukrainians completely out of Russia.
Indeed, our task in the near future in the shortest possible time is to finally defeat the enemy who has dug in on the territory of the KSK region and is still conducting military operations here to completely liberate the territory of the KSK region, to restore the situation along the state borderline.
This was Putin's first trip to K. It coincides with Russia's gains on the battlefield. They have retaken almost 90% of the land from Kiev. 90%. What they need is one final push. Maybe that's why Putin decided to visit now, to flaunt his progress and to boost the morale of his men. What about Ukraine? What does this loss mean for them? Zelensky had a clear plan when, while pushing into K, he wanted to use this land as a bargaining chip, maybe to exchange holdings with Russia, but that plan is now out of the window. And don't forget the resources Ukraine lost, soldiers and weapons in this Kursk operation, but now it's all looking futile on the other side. Putin did not stake as much. He struck a mutual defense PCT with North Korea. The US says around 10,000 Korean soldiers were deployed in K. So to recap, Ukraine spent money, weapons and men to hold K, to hold Russian territory, while Putin imported North Korean soldiers to liberate it. As things stand, it does not look so good for Kiev. They've lost their only bargaining chip. Still, Ukraine is not backing down. They're exchanging airstrikes with Russia. Overnight, they fired 77 drones into Russian territory. All of them were downed by Moscow. Russia too fired 17 drones at Ukraine. Again, most of them were taken down. We've seen similar attacks throughout the week, the biggest being on Tuesday. That's when Ukraine fired more than 300 drones at Russia. Around 90 of them were aimed at Moscow. It was the largest drone attack on the Russian capital. A lot of buildings and cars were damaged. At least 3 people were also killed. That attack was a statement of intent by Ukraine, sort of like asking Russia to back off, because since February the attack has been relentless. On 18th last month, US and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia. They agreed to pursue peace in Ukraine. After that, Moscow piled on the pressure. They have been attacking Ukraine relentlessly, clearly to build pressure on Zelensky. Both sides seem to have the same idea here. They know that there is a global push for peace, so they want to negotiate from a position of strength. Right now, Russia has that edge. Thanks for watching this video.